So we recently got a pet pup. She's very cute,
Yeah.
but she's a lot of work.
And we started thinking as to how do people get any work done if they keep pets.
And then we realized that there were many historical figures throughout the literary world and the artistic world who actually kept very strange animals and
Yeah,
pets
yeah.
and still got work done. Frida Kahlo had a pet deer. She named it Granizo,
Okay.
which basically means hail in English. That served as her muse for her 1946 painting of the wounded deer.
Yeah, quite an iconic painting.
That had her face on a deer's body with 9 arrows piercing through it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So that represented her pain. So it's very interesting how pets actually can serve as a muse.
So Surrealist painter Salvador Dali had an ocelot for a pet. He was fond of exotic animals. Being Salvador Dali, he wouldn't have had an ordinary cat. So he got an ocelot from a beggar in the street of New York and he brought him home. And he was so fond of it that he took him to restaurants with him. And once he was in Manhattan dining, and a fellow diner was very uncomfortable in the presence of an ocelot. Dali assured him that it's just an ordinary cat, only painted in an op art design.
Another interesting artist, Pablo Picasso, actually had a pet goat.
Oh,
Yeah. And he named her Esmeralda.
oh,
And
interesting.
it's very interesting because he actually made a bronze statue of a bronze goat. So that Esmeralda was its muse. And his partner often remarked that he, as in Pablo Picasso,
Yeah.
actually preferred the company of the goat to other humans most of the times.
English poet and painter Dante Gabriel Rossetti, he had a wombat for a pet. He was fond of many strange animals. He also had armadillo at one point and he also had raccoons. But he was really fond of wombats and he named his wombat Wombat Top after his wife's lover and his friend, strangely. So Wombat Top was a very spoilt pet. He would chew on his guests' pants, he would chew on hats, he would even eat cigarettes. And when he died, Rossetti got him stuffed and he was put up in his entrance hall.
Way to remind his wife of her infidelity. So the story goes that Virgil once kept a fly,
Yeah.
a household fly, as a pet. And when it died, he actually held a very ornate funeral.
That it did?
Yeah. And actually built a mausoleum. Not a mausoleum, but a tomb in memory of that fly. Now the story goes that it was done intentionally by him so that he could actually keep the land that he had and save it from the government taking it over. Another story goes that there was one poem called basically translate to the gnat in English, that he wrote that and the fly served as the inspiration. But that is also dubious because we don't know if he actually wrote that poem or it was someone else who wrote it. But it makes for a very interesting story.